Purpose for me is you finding what you are called to do and pursuing it with passion. To get where you want to go, you need to hold hands with someone who has been there. You cannot succeed without failure.
I want to hear the things I'm not doing right, things that are going to get me better.
Because humility is the bedrock for you to step to great heights.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another edition of your favorite podcast, the YouREnough podcast. I'm your host here, Gustav B. Ajimo. And this afternoon, in life, you have some of those people who you meet and you feel like you've known them for a long time, right? The gentleman I'm with today has been a brother of mine. I just got to meet him while I moved out here in Texas a few years ago. But he has been very intentional about the way we guide our relationship. And he called me today and said, "Hey, Gustav, are you home? I want to come over. I want to come get my book from your hand." But in the meantime, while he got here, he brought me a copy of another great author's book, which is called Darren Harder. I want you to join me to welcome my friend and brother here, Pastor Ajimo Francis. Pastor, how you doing?
I am doing great. Thank you so very much.
I'm glad to see you. First of all, I'm glad you find time to come over here, right? And one of the things I talk about on my podcast a lot, and I know that is something that connects with you, is about purpose. What does purpose mean to you?
That's a very good question. I really appreciate you. Purpose for me is you finding what you are called to do and pursuing it with a passion. Also, being focused, committed, giving your all to make sure you achieve it.
Awesome. And Pastor, I think what is even more important from what you just said, that even just blew my mind when we started chatting today. And I told myself, you know what? One of the beautiful things about podcast, it's not like a TV interview. We don't have to prepare for it. You just came to that and I said, instead of us talking offline, why don't we just talk on camera? Because your ideas, your wisdom, the things you've experienced might inspire somebody out there, right? And you are at the point in your life today when you have to make a very important decision, right? I don't want you to give me the details of that decision, but I want you to talk about the framework of that decision and why you want to make that decision to pursue one thing, which is the thing that you believe is a calling. Can you talk to me about that process?
Yes, thank you so much one more time. I really appreciate the fact that you were quick to connect me to this podcast. And let me say this before I answer your question. You've been one of the young people around me that I feel so comfortable listening to, encouraging, and sometimes feel like contributing to the little wisdom that I have. And I'm glad each time you always appreciate it with a kind heart. And so today when I came in, I told myself I'm not going to get that book, The Seeker, posted to my address. I have to honor. The Bible says we should give honor to whom honor is due.
Oh,
so I'm coming here to honor you because that's a great work. And I just don't take great works for granted because I know what it takes to be where you are now and to do what you have done. So I came purposefully, intentionally to receive this book because it's not just a book, it's a blessing directly from the host. And I'm so glad that we found this time because you've been really on the go for quite some time now.
Absolutely.
And here am I in the palace.
Awesome.
Heartily welcome. And I'm about to receive. I can't wait to lay hand on that book for this to uncover this treasure.
Absolutely. And for those who might just be joining us for the first time, those who are listening onto the podcast for the first time, Pastor Ajimo is just talking about my newly released book. It is called The Seeker. And here is the book right here. This is the book that took me 12 years to put together. And in this book, I focus on helping everyday people like you watching me. Number one, be able to uncover their purpose and work on their gift and be able to improve and grow as a person. Number two, how to use that gift to be able to leverage it to produce some profits and how to invest in assets. And number three, how to use those two key things to be able to build a lasting legacy. What if you lost your job today? How long will you be able to hang on? Is your emergency fund able to give you 6 months of leeway? Or are you like most people who, if they lose their job, they are 1 month away from financial disaster? Listen, I know you're working hard. I know you show up every day, but it doesn't feel like anything is changing. You feel stuck. And the reason why you feel stuck is because most people earn more, but lifestyle inflation eats it up. No one ever taught you how to build wealth. Your income isn't the wealth. Your income is a seed. It might not create freedom if you don't duplicate it. But here is the good news. Here is what I want to tell you today. I have created the Paycheck to Prosperity seminar, and I am inviting you to that seminar on Saturday, the 2nd of August, for a small investment of $97. You'll be able to break free from the paycheck loop and finally take control of your money. How to shift from saver to wealth builder with a proven intentional strategy. How to increase your income without quitting your 9 to 5 or working more hours. How to find your best path to prosperity based on your income, goals, and lifestyle. How to move from confusion to confidence with money decisions that build real wealth, and get practical tools and live support to build your system and stay consistent. If you're ready for that shift, don't hesitate. Click in the link below and go ahead and register for this life-changing seminar. I'll see you on the inside. So, Pastor Ajimo, as African immigrants to America, one of the biggest challenges we face in America, other than some of the underground, quiet challenges a lot of immigrants face, is the fact that we all have some deep connection to the continent of Africa. We look at Africa every day and we want to do something for Africa. From your perspective, as somebody who has been working with people's minds and souls and spirit, as a spiritual guide and leader, what are some of those things spiritually, out of religion? I'm talking about spiritually as a human being. What are some of those things that we need to fortify, we need to build, we need to grow in order to impact not only ourselves, but create massive impact for our continent of Africa?
Yeah, thank you one more time. So personally, if I want to go back through my memory lane, how far I've come, I discovered that as someone who has been out of Africa for this long, one of the duties that we owe, if I can put it that way, is to transport what we have, transfer what we have acquired in terms of knowledge, financial empowerment. And I was just sharing with you that I am so glad that a lot of Africans are getting this knowledge and putting it in practice. That means wisdom.
Correct.
And they are using that wisdom to empower the generation that is growing up, that is kind of like caught up in between reality and what the social media sometimes portray. And I think we should, pull our resources together and see how we can build this generation, redirect their focus.
Correct.
And make them really see that it is possible. Make them really understand the importance of seeking your purpose, pursuing it, and seek for mentorship. So I can run it up, say like, most people lack mentorship. To get where you want to go, you need to hold hands with someone who has been there or who is on his way to where you want to be.
Correct.
Someone who has a proven track record that you can look up to. I say, you know what? I admire. Just like I say, you're a young man to me, but I'm not shy to say I learn from you every day. Like I have a lot of young people that I see they do something good, something that is beneficial, something that will transform our generation. And I come closer, I say, young man, I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. I know our generation will not stand by and clap for you. Because most often people look for your downfall and they criticize. But I look at it from the other part of the coin. Out of 100 things, if you got 90 wrong, I take the 10 that's right. That's right. Because I know you can turn the tides around.
You say something very important, Pastor Ajimo. You talk about, number one, you talk about being able to find your purpose. Number two, mentorship. You see, when you talk about mentorship, you saw me smiling. And the reason I was smiling is because I really believe that other than God, who gives us life, and your immediate family, mentorship is probably the most important ingredient to growth and acceleration in life.
Definitely.
And you talked about the younger generation and the generations that are after us and the challenges that they face between what social media presents and what the reality presents, right? I want you to unpack the concept of mentorship a little bit. Why should somebody seek mentorship, number one? And number two, how important is it to not only seek mentorship, but to even pay for it?
Yes.
Because as a people, sometimes we are very challenged when we are called upon to pay a price to get something of value. Talk to me about that.
Okay. So I define mentorship as a process where where you look up to someone, like I said, who has done what you intend to do or what you are currently doing. And that person has achieved a certain level of success because you never hit 100%. That's my perception. You can see somewhere on the scale. But you see that they have a proven track record. Like this person is writing books. He's not just writing books to entertain people. He's writing books that have to say what I think, that have have something to offer in what I'm already planning to do. And it's like, okay, this is where I want to go. This is that direction. Since this person is successful in what he is doing, he might not be as successful as you define success, but at least he has gone some steps ahead of where you are now.
Absolutely.
They have probably had some scars.
Yes.
They have probably had a lot of disappointments. As a matter of fact, I was listening to one of my mentors and he said, you cannot succeed without failure.
Absolutely.
Like, wow. So this person has had a repeated failure and then at some point, they got it right.
Absolutely.
So mentorship is just staying connected to this person, telling them, you know what? I believe that what you're doing is the right thing. That's what I want to do. I want to emulate you, no matter what it costs. If I can link that to the word of God, Paul, the Apostle Paul, he told Timothy, he said, follow me as I follow Christ. And when you look at the life of Apostle Paul, you don't want to pass through that pathway because he went through
a lot of challenges.
Yes.
A lot of challenges. So, Pastor Ajimo,
yes,
what are some of the characteristics of a good mentor? What would you consider? What would you want to see in somebody in order to be their mentee? Hey guys, have you been wondering how you could chat with me one-on-one just to talk on your aspirations, your career, your business, and the things you might dream about with your life and you would really like to do with your life? I know it's been a challenge because a lot of people have been sending me inbox messages, asking me questions and asking me how they could get to me. That has been answered for you. I've created a one-on-one program where you can actually book a time. You look in the link in the description. You can book a time and have a one-on-one conversation with me for 30 minutes for a very small fee. If you look down in the description of this video, you will find that information and go ahead and book a time and let's have a conversation.
What I want to see in somebody in order for me to be their mentee, number one, I want to see how far durability, how far they've gone. You don't just follow someone,
how long they've been in what they are doing.
Okay. Number two, how many times did they fail?
That's important too.
Number three, what did they learn from their failure? That's what I want to hear. Okay. You failed, you learned, you applied, and it's working. Correct. If you just tell me I've just started from grace to grace, I would doubt your mentorship ability. Okay. If you tell me there was some point that I was tempted to quit,
yes,
but the Spirit told me no. Like my spiritual grandfather, Papa Kenneth Hagin of blessed memory, will say, I will never give up and I will not quit. He wrote it boldly at the Rhema Hall of Fame. Wow. If you pass there every time, we have a winter Bible seminar in February. Wow. If you just get into to the gathering that all the former students of the graduates meet to have a common dinner, we will see it boldly written, I will never give up and I will not quit. that sticks in me and tells me something. And if you listen to the song, he will give you just a tiny little bit of how much pains he passed through from his family, from the friends, from those that he counted upon, but he never gave up. So I want to also see a mentor who has passed through those points, who doesn't quit, who is not quitting.
Awesome.
Who doesn't have quitting in their agenda. And I want to see a mentor also that will challenge me.
Okay.
I don't want a mentor that will pay me all the time. Tell me what I'm doing that's not right.
And how to get better.
And how to get better.
I think you make an important point there, because we live in a time today where I really believe that, especially people who are coming behind us, even people who are in our generation too, people are getting a lot more emotionally softer. What I mean by that is people are no longer able to have a thick skin enough to get criticism and accept it for what it is, right? So a lot of times when people call me, and you know that because you and me converse very often, each time you try to praise me for something, I say, thank you, but I want you to tell me what I need to do to get better.
Exactly.
I want to hear those things.
Yes.
I want to hear the things I'm not doing right. I want to hear the things that are going to get me better. And a lot of people are challenged with that. That's why today when you criticize people, they tend to say there are haters out there. No, nobody hates you. For somebody to really take their time to criticize you, I consider it giving you feedback. Yes. They care a lot about this. What do you say? How do you advise people today, especially the younger ones coming, who need mentorship, to also be able to have the humility to take feedback graciously?
Yeah, as a father, and as a mentor, as a pastor, I pass through that almost every time, because I, not just in the ministry, in my business, as well as my daily life.
Correct.
So I discovered that because most of the younger people, they read books, that's great, or they watch movies, and they listen to some program wherever inspires them. And they sometimes hold on to those information so strongly that even if you are dissipating the right information, it takes time for them to take that, to erase what is already in them. So they look at what you're saying as a challenge. And their first reaction, because they don't want to think and rethink, is like, he's a hater. But if they sit down in their downtime and they really try to assimilate what you told them, I look at it critically from the lens of the spirit that is within them, they will understand that at some point, he might not have said it the way I wanted him to say it.
Correct.
But it made sense.
Absolutely.
I have done that. I'm not distancing from that. I've done that for a while. I thought what I was doing was right until I got challenged. And then I reacted, because everybody has an ego.
Absolutely.
I reacted like might not have been the best, but then I got back to myself, like my real self, without any title, whatever. And I'm like, he had a punch.
Yes.
Guess what? Because humility is the bedrock for you to step to great height. I humble myself. I understand that if you don't humble yourself, you can never attain a great height. And I humble myself, and what I do is I apologize. It doesn't matter whether you are big, small, old, or young. As long as I realize that I did not take it the way it's supposed to, I have no regrets apologizing.
You know, I have to shake your hand on this one, Pastor Ajimo. I have to shake your hand on this one, because one of the things I love to talk to people like you is because I want anybody who ever stumbles on my podcast at any point in their life, whether it's today, it's 5 years from today, it's 10 years, 20, 30, 40 years from today, they should find value and they should meet genuine people.
Yes.
They should meet people with their battle scars. Yes. They should meet people with their successes, their failures, their regrets, their achievements, and their vision, and that spirit to say, oh, I am not giving up.
Yes.
You talk about ego. You talk about humility. These are concepts that I believe are dying in our communities today,
Yes.
especially in an African diaspora community, where a lot of times people buy into the idea of thinking that achievement in life, maybe financial achievement, maybe material achievement, supersedes respect, supersedes humility, supersedes wisdom. Talk to me about humility and the ability to be able to serve and not seek to be served.
Thank you one more time. So humility, is one of the greatest attitudes of every human being. I draw a lot of inspiration from the Holy Scriptures, the Bible.
Of course.
The Bible says Jesus humbled himself to the point of death, and death on the cross,
Which we just celebrated Easter last week.
And I said, if you followed my Easter message, if Jesus did not die, he has not fulfilled his mission.
Mm-hmm.
And if he died and he was not buried, it was still not complete. Mm-hmm. And if he was buried, he did not resurrect, then he would be just a religious leader like every other religious leader that ever lived. But the difference between Christianity and religions is the fact that our Lord and Savior, it's going to beat your imagination that the Bible says, from the foundations of the earth, the Lamb was slain.
Mm-hmm.
So Jesus was actually born to die.
Mm-hmm.
And he said in one of his discourses to the apostles, he said, for this purpose I came.
Wow. Humility.
Yes.
And how do we apply those principles?
So now,
today,
being humble is not just a matter of saying it. It's putting it in practice. Humility is another form of self-discipline. You tell yourself, you know what? I have my ego, but the truth is, ego will take you fast to where you don't deserve.
Les Brown says ego stands for edging God out. Ego, how is that?
So, and the scripture says, that's the half-brother of Jesus, Apostle James. He said, God resists the proud, and he gives grace to the humble. And so if you want to acquire grace, you need grace. Of course, everybody needs grace, even if they don't say it.
Mm-hmm.
What is grace? Grace is God being in your race, and life is a race.
Yes.
So for you to acquire grace, you need to be humble. And if you're not ready to humble, situations will humble you.
Yes.
Let me come back to Apostle Paul. On his way to Damascus in Acts of Apostles chapter 9, he thought he was doing great. If you listen to Apostle Paul's testimony, he was persecuting Christians on behalf of the emperor at that time, thinking he was doing good.
Mm-hmm.
But he was doing a disservice to the kingdom.
Correct.
Until he met Jesus. And guess what? Once the light of, I call it of revelation, struck him, he heard the voice. They were in the convoy.
Mm-hmm.
And he heard the voice loudly, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? Listen to his response. He said, who art thou, Lord?
Mm-hmm.
So what am I trying to say? If you don't humble yourself in whatever you do, I tell some of my mentees, don't let God humble you.
Correct.
If God humbles you, you won't like it.
It might be a more difficult lesson to learn.
You won't like it.
Correct.
And that's where the Apostle Paul found himself.
Awesome.
At that time, he was Saul. And when he got that revelation, his name was, and from Saul to Paul. And that's why he was able to achieve, the great things that Apostle Paul, he wrote almost half of the New Testament.
Yeah.
And look at his prayer. He said, not just have attended. In Philippians chapter 3, he said, the one thing I do, I forget what is behind me and I press on. I said, because why? He's
the mark of higher calling.
Yes. And he said, because I want to know Jesus and the power of his resurrection.
Wow. 100%. Pastor, as you're talking here about mentorship and humility, I feel very, very compelled to, first of all, just thank you for coming today, but also to understand, because I want There's a reason I want you to talk about certain things.
Yes.
Because these are things that a cross-section of the people who view my channel are between the ages of 25 to about 45 years old.
Yes.
That's where the majority of my viewers are.
Yes.
And I think more than ever before in this time, a lot of young men, a majority of my viewers are men, a lot of young men need mentorship. They need direction.
Yes.
They need somebody to teach them
Yes.
how to go in life and what are the templates that culminate into making you a man, right?
Yes.
One of the things I know about you is not only the fact that you are a pastor by calling, but you're a very disciplined person. Very disciplined person, generally. Of course, nobody is perfect, but you're generally a very disciplined person. We have played football together. We played tennis together. I've seen you in the community. I've seen you when, at even function events, when you have to go, you have to go. You got to wake up at 6, so you got to leave at midnight. Things like that. Tell me how you walk through building that discipline muscle. Hey guys, just a brief break from regular programming. You see, most human beings, if you really go deep into their heart's desire, they want 3 things. They want to live a life of growth and development in order to be relevant. They want to be able to build wealth and also leave behind a legacy that will last for perpetuity. In my Guarantee Your Legacy program, which is a custom designed program, I answer these 3 questions and more for you. I have limited availability on that program. It's an 8-week program whereby we meet once a week, one-on-one with me. In addition to that, I'll walk through the different critical things that you need to be able to grow as a person, to be able to become relevant, to be able to impact people in order to create a legacy. And in doing that, you can also build wealth. If you already have it, I can teach you how to protect it, preserve it, so that way it lasts for perpetuity. Don't hesitate. If you would like to learn more about that program, click on the link down in the description section of this video, and I sure will see you on the inside. Let's go back to the regular program.
Thank you again. So I would say discipline goes, I will give the credit to my mom. You see, my mom, if you ever had a chance to meet my mom, you understand, my mom is not a big woman. I can't imagine. My mom, she did not go to school. My mom had to stay at home because she had a brother and a sister. And my grandmom, I didn't have the chance to see my grandmom, my mom's mom, because she passed away at a very early age. Because of that, my mom did not go to school. She just went to standard 2 or 3. But she is the number 1 disciplinarian. I tell my kids all the time, you guys, you think I'm a disciplinarian?
See, they are lucky that they don't meet your mom.
With grandma.
Yeah.
You did not grow with grandma. So what am I saying? Discipline starts from the grassroots. Once you grow in that environment where discipline is being administered, you grow with it. But you can acquire discipline by you following people who are doing what you intend to do, people who have really gone through that pathway of what you intend to do. And you can tell yourself the truth as well. I think that's the best method. You look at yourself like, what am I doing that other people have not done? What have I achieved that people have not achieved before?
Correct.
What makes me different? Why should I be proud? What does pride? What is pride adding? What value is pride bringing to the table?
Correct.
And in that mindset, in that mind frame, you got to like, okay, I need to tell myself the truth. This is where I am. This is where I intend to go. The way I'm going and the way I'm doing it is not right. I need to seek. That's where mentorship comes into play. And it's kind of difficult. For me, it's not difficult. If I see something, I like it, I reach out to the person. I'm a very contact-friendly person. I reach out to the people. I don't have any
barriers, no ego when it comes to that. You don't feel like reaching out to somebody makes you the weaker person.
No.
All those self-deprecating thoughts that
I don't feel
that push people to lose opportunities.
So I can advise the young people, pride. They say pride goes before a fall.
Correct.
If your intention is to write, you need to learn how to crucify pride out of your life.
Absolutely.
And the best way, if you are not privileged to grow up in a home that was normally a disciplinary home, then you learn the second area you learn it is in school. For some of us who had the privilege to go to boarding schools,
you learn discipline over there.
Oh, yes, I remember.
And Pastor, not to interrupt, but and for those watching who don't understand, in Cameroon where we grew up, there are two kinds of schools for students, right? From secondary school and high school. There are boarding schools where you actually live in school and you go to classes in school and you don't come home except on holidays. And then there are other schools, day schools, where you go to school every day from home and come back home. So in the boarding schools, a lot of the boarding schools are missionary schools, which means they're either owned by the Catholic Church, the Presbyterian Church, the Baptist Church, and other missions. So they had a lot of disciplinary structures and very, 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 very strict rules. I just wanted to give some context. Go ahead, Pastor.
Yeah, so in the secondary school, I came to realize it's a structured environment.
Yes.
You've got to be in bed at this time.
Correct.
Lights go off at 10 p.m. in the night. So if you are fidgeting and doing whatever you're doing and you get caught, right? That's why we had seniors. And that's another mentorship platform.
Correct.
You had seniors who, if they just cough, that they already know that you're doing something, just chill, because it's not going to take you anywhere.
Correct.
So you rather spend your night sleeping or be by the side of your senior's bed, kneeling down.
Before you prepare. And that's part of the discipline process, right?
You've got to be up at 5 o'clock because we need to clean the dormitory. You're going to straighten up your bed. During the weekend, you got to make sure you wash your beddings, do the laundry. You have to, in the days, I went to secondary school in the days where we were putting on shorts.
Correct.
You have to press it with a local iron that if you're not careful, the coal will burn that. But you learn that. It takes a lot of patience to really do that.
Oh, Pastor, you bring a lot of memories back because I really think some of the things we never thought about, right? At the fundraiser recently that I was part of, I explained to people, I said, anybody who went to boarding school in Cameroon, especially because that's at least what I know.
Yes.
I believe other boarding schools in other parts of Africa and the world might be like that. But anybody who went to boarding school in Cameroon, it's a great privilege.
It is.
And number two, go thank your parents.
Yes.
I'm not saying the other schools are not great. They're also great too. All the schools are great. But the boarding school gave a certain structure to your life.
That's
It started mentoring us very early in our life.
Yes.
There is no secret, therefore, why a school like CPC has produced 2 prime ministers in Cameroon, has produced 2 secretaries of the African Union.
Wow.
A school like SASE has produced, I think, 1 or 2 prime ministers. All these boarding schools, right? Sacred Heart, lots. They've produced great leaders in different tiers of life.
Yes.
And this is not in exclusion to other schools, but I just want to support the point you made about the fact that we didn't even realize that was a mentorship platform.
Yes.
That's a discipline platform.
Yes.
That's a platform that's a leadership academy. I call CPC, the school I went to, as a leadership academy because it really didn't teach us only how to be academically strong and pass exams, but it taught us education of the head and the heart. And today, it's no surprise that you're probably doing what you're doing, right?
Yes.
And Pastor, when you look at the African diaspora, because that's one of my main targets, when you look at the African diaspora, especially in America, right?
Yes.
You look at the way things are evolving, economically, financially, and I know that you're a financial professional, right?
Yes.
You help people be able to plan for their now and the future, right? How do you see African immigrants benefiting from some of the powerful financial tools that are in this country?
I'm glad you asked this question because as an immigrant, one of the challenges that I had, especially when I came to America 14 years ago, I saw the lifestyle, people getting up in the morning, hitting the road, coming back late in the night, and you barely have time for your family. As a pastor, there are many, I can't count how many crises we have intervened because they fail to understand the value of a family because the system is structured in a way that you have to keep going. So whatever it takes to get where you want to go to, you keep going. But sometimes we forget that we have a root where we originated from. I sometimes call the attention of some of the brothers that I'm privileged to connect with. I say, hey, we come from somewhere. We didn't fall from a tree.
Correct.
We came from somewhere. There's a culture. There's a standard that I can tell you I grew up in and I loved it.
Yes.
So talking about the financial aspect of it, 4 or 5 years ago, it was a big challenge when I joined the financial world for us to sit an African down and tell them about the finances because most Africans who live in the diaspora, especially here in America, they are educated. They have at least a first degree.
Correct, a bachelor's degree.
That's a good thing. Most of them have masters. The majority of them have their doctorate degree. So talking to them about finances,
it's tough.
They want to check your financial background. You are a pastor. You are a pastor, and I studied ecology. You're supposed to be talking about the environment and climatic changes. What are you telling me about finances? So sometimes when I call my classmates and I want to talk to them about finance, they'll be like, hold on. Pastor, how come? But hey, this is America. As much as we get you gave your testimony how you did nursing, that was not your passion. You did other IT, that was not your passion. This is what your passion is. So I discovered that in addition to being a pastor,
you have a calling.
That's a calling.
Coaching people in finance, personal finance.
One thing I discovered, most of the crises that we intervene in, their root cause is finance.
So most of the family crises that people invite you to come and help them.
Their root cause
when they have challenges
is finance.
Okay.
And I'm like, I have this privilege. I have this tool. I can sit down and, like I said, I don't mind sitting down and learning. Like most of my mentors in the financial world, I think I should be at least 20 years older than them. But I'm not ashamed because they know what I don't know.
Absolutely. And for you to know what they know, you need to have the teacher-student relationship with them.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I would tell our young people, not just our young people, financial education is for everybody.
Correct.
Because we teach, like, one of the questions I ask people who are above 50 like me, what are your retirement plans? What are your goals? Some of them tell me their retirement goal is their social security, and I break it down to them. Do you know the implication? Do you know
the risk is too much?
The risk. Do you know how much your social security benefit is going to be by the time you and I retire?
Don't know.
They have no clue.
Just like you're driving a car half tank full and you know that the gas is going to run out.
They have no idea. Then I ask those who have a lot of children. I think one of the things that people don't want to get a lot of children, I'm thinking, that's me. It's not, don't crucify me. That's
okay.
Who's going to train them?
Correct.
We come from Africa where we see cousins.
I come from a family of 30-something.
They just get kids.
Yes.
All they are thinking, your uncle is in America, your auntie is in London.
That's right.
They're not thinking there's no plan for them. And that's where I go back to that question. We need to empower them. We need to educate them to understand that this is, what you're doing is suicidal.
Correct.
You cannot just have 10, 12 children and expect someone else. I have my own bodies. I have my own family.
Correct.
So I tell people, these children that you have, that's my approach. What plans you have? Is it college for them? If college is not the option, then there should be something you have in place for them. What do you have in place? And they're like, well, I've not thought about it. I said, I can help you.
Awesome.
And how can I help you? With the little knowledge that I know, if I can't, I leverage the expertise of my mentors. And I have an amazing team. Oh my God.
So how do you help these people, Pastor? What do you do?
So I teach
them how to invest or what?
I teach them that what I do is I do a financial diagnosis. It's called a PF. It's your personal financial strategy. What's your financial goal? Financial goal involves where you live. Like What's the cost of where your actual cost of living? What do you spend? What do you earn? How much is left over? And then from what is left over, we can now start planning. Okay, you have 3 kids. If their plan is college, this is what you need. Some of the parents don't know. I did not know until my first go to college.
It is.
I did not know because I just thought, well, we are making enough money. The question is how much is enough?
Correct.
Is it based on you just having a good life, having a big home, and eating a good meal, or investing for the future? We always neglect that until when we are closer to it. Then we're like, oh my God, what did I do? Absolutely. So we think to people, don't be shy. We don't charge you anything to take you. But it's going to cost you something to intimacy.
Correct. And that is fair enough. That's fair enough, Pastor Ajimo, especially because I go around.
Yes.
One of the things I do for a living, I'm a professional MC. So I go to events, I meet people, I talk to people. The level of anxiety, especially for people in their 40s and above, 40s, 50s, is at an all-time high.
Yes.
A majority of people are running behind on their retirement.
Sure.
They are running behind on their safety net. They are running behind on even emergency funds.
Yes.
About 70% of people in this country today are one disaster away from complete bankruptcy.
Yes.
Most people cannot live beyond 1 month of joblessness.
1 page.
Right? Or beyond one page.
Just 1 page.
Exactly. All these things are anxiety causing, right? Yes. But now you mentioned something earlier. You talked about African immigrants in America. The statistics say about 40% of African immigrants coming from Africa into America have a GED, which is a high school certificate diploma. About 24% have some college education, including a bachelor's degree.
Yes.
About 17% or so has an advanced degree beyond a bachelor's degree.
Yes.
So these people are educated in terms of they're learned.
Yes.
They have all these qualifications. Hey guys, in addition to all the valuable information I bring to you every week on my videos and my short videos on different platforms, especially here on YouTube, I also have a community of over 2,000 like-minded, serious and driven people who, like you, are receiving exclusively this time a newsletter once a week. And this information in the newsletter is unique and it only goes to those people who are part of the newsletter community. So if you're interested in getting this once a week update, which includes different tips, different ideas on how to build yourself, how to generate wealth, how to make money, how to build a legacy, go ahead and click down in the link in the description and you'll be able to join our newsletter community. And when you join that community, you would realize exactly how much value that brings to you on a weekly and daily basis. Let's get back to regular programming. What is causing that resistance to financial education, which is the bedrock of the country we live in?
I always put it this way. Like, I look at the lifestyle our parents live in the days. That's the best they knew.
Correct.
Very few of our parents, like if I can quote like your dad and this mommy, were exposed to some of the white man's, I can call it, change. Like
the more advanced way of investing.
So they got it.
Correct.
But what about the
everyday parents?
Everyday parents who have no clue, like they just believe that is the norm. Get up, once you have age, get a job at CDC, because I grew up in Kumba. So Kumba right down to Mbongere. I went to my primary at GN Mbongere CDC. 7 years.
That's in Cameroon.
In Cameroon.
Yes. Correct.
So most of the people around are either local farmers or employed with CDC.
Okay.
So
that's the corporation that the agri corporation.
Yes.
Yeah, that does that own large expanses of farm.
Exactly.
And they did agribusiness.
So that's all we knew. Our parents, uncles, their friends, when they're of age, they go to CDC. Even me during my holidays, I will go do some holiday job and get a few francs. And that was good because when I'm going back to school, I can buy some sneakers or some. I look different because I made some money. So when our parents or the ancestors who never knew better than that, which I tell you is a colonial scheme to hold our people captive. even going to school, that's our people grew up in that mentality. You go to school, you graduate, then you get a job.
Correct.
And then when you work for 40 years, you retire, then apply for pension.
Correct.
So the question is, how much was that pension? How much is the pension? And how is it going to help keep you until the day that the Lord calls you home?
Correct.
So it keeps people like thinking very shallowly from paycheck to paycheck. So that environment that we grew has affected us in a way. So when we come abroad, we forget this is a different relay. This is a different, totally different environment where you can leverage not just what you know, but what others, like I said, have done. You see it. Unfortunately, sometimes people get information based on who they meet, where they just get here. But I tell people when they come to church and ask them, Pastor, what shall I do? I say, what do you know? What do you have?
Start with what you know, what you have. Until you know better, you do better.
Okay, so then the next question is what you intend to do. Because everybody had a dream.
Yeah.
If you has a dream, if you're coming from Africa, you probably do not just get up like overnight. No, it's like, I get to America, this is what I intend to do. This is what I intend to do. Then I used my little expertise that I have. I said, okay, this is what I think. Me talking to you, you got this. And based on my experience that I've seen, I've mentored sons and daughters who are successful in this area. This is your age limit. From this time to this time, set goals.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, great, but this is how it's going to end. But I encourage them, those who are not graduates yet, go to school, get some certification. Like the IT world, the IT world is so lucrative. Unfortunately, I'm beyond that age. But for the youngsters, go get the certification. It doesn't require a degree. I came to discover, like, yes, get the certifications, get a job, and then go to school if you want to acquire those degrees. Back them up if you want to. But above everything, you're going to be making that money. How are you going to manage it? That's a big challenge.
And multiply it.
How are you going to manage the money? Because making money is great. A lot of people make money. You hear people say, I make 6 figures. At the end of the tax period is just getting over. Ask them, what do you have? At the end of the day, they won't tell you. Sometimes they'll even suspect the bank of but that's you. Because the more you
management was the challenge.
That's where the challenge, and that's exactly the problem. I said, you know what? Sit down, let's talk.
Let's have a chat.
Let's have some.
And I think for a community like us, it's a blessing to have people like you, because I really believe that there is, I call it the three-pit, right? I call it the most dangerous three devils that exist. Getting old, it's natural. We all are going to get old.
Yes.
Getting sick, you can delay it a little bit. You can manage it. You can control it to a great extent by what you eat, your healthcare, and all of that.
Yes.
But getting broke is in your hands, especially in this country.
I know.
Right? And when I think of those three things, it keeps me awake at night.
Yes.
The worst thing that can happen to anybody, I always believe, is you get old, you are sick in your old age, and then you are lacking of financial resources to support yourself.
Yes.
My greatest dream in this life is to get to the point in my life where when I go visit my grandchildren, I take a checkbook out, I sign their tuition that year, and I give my daughter.
Wow.
Because I've seen people do that.
Wow.
And to me, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian.
Yes.
And the Bible says, a good man lays an inheritance. Right?
Yes.
So now for people who are in their 40s, who are in their 50s, maybe they are running behind. Can you give me a few concrete steps they should start taking now to get them to a place of relative safety in their old age?
Thank you one more time. Yes, so when you are 40, that reminds me of the program I had April last year in Makurdi in Nigeria. I was teaching them about time. The time that you live in now can determine what you attain tomorrow.
Correct.
Unfortunately, some of us are not conscious of our today
Mm-hmm.
That because we missed yesterday, so we don't prepare for tomorrow. Yeah, today.
Some of us are not conscious of our today because we missed yesterday, so we don't prepare for tomorrow. I want everybody to have that digest a little bit. You cannot chew nuggets like that and just walk past it.
Wow. So yeah, yesterday you can't do much about it.
Correct.
Everybody has a past. Matter of fact, I went to one of my elder sister's friend in the days of CRTV, Victor Piengome.
Correct. Legendary journalist, Cameroon Radio and Television Corporation.
I went to his office because I featured in the Mr. World.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Awesome. That was a great program.
Thank you. Then I saw one of the writings on the wall. I like to read. I like to read them, even if they don't make sense.
Correct.
And it read, "It's too late to ruin the past." That stuck in my mind like, it's too late.
It's too late. You cannot ruin the past. The past is gone. I like that one.
Just work on the future.
Yes.
Wow. And working on the future starts today.
Yes.
Because your future is now. So when we go back to the scriptures, I like the scriptures. In Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, the Bible says, now faith is, not faith was. And in verse 6, the Bible says, without faith, it is impossible to please God. And he said, he who comes to God must believe that he is who is. So at the point where you get a mentor, it's like a God to you.
Yes.
You're coming to him with a lot of expectations. Because he knows God doesn't talk to people directly now, like call you Gustav, do that in the days of Moses.
It sends people your
way. And
solve your
some of the people that God sends away could be your mentors.
Correct.
That you despise them because they don't resemble, they're not dressed in suits.
They don't look like the perception of what you think should be somebody mentoring you. When you despise them, you despise your future, you lose your destiny.
Yes. So for those who are 40 and above, the morning, so life is divided into, active life is, I see it in 3 factions. Your morning is when from birth to when you are 30. Your afternoon is from 31 to when you are 60. Your night is from 61 to when you are 90. Now, from birth to when you are 5, your parents, they navigate you like you grow up. We see, unfortunately, we grew up in an environment that parents don't see. But you see, like I was having a conversation with my wife the other day. My little boy, the Benjamin, is 12 years.
Yeah.
He developed a passion in just getting to the stores and getting some. He can take the jacket, transform it. And my wife, like, that's a
gift.
Yeah.
That's a gift. That's a gift. Let's pay attention to that.
He said something that I'm like, so now if he tells me I need these and I can afford it, I'm like, okay, I get it.
I'm trying to nurture that gift.
Exactly.
Correct.
Some of us were very good in soccer, but hey, they will be whipping you. Anytime you play football, you're coming home, you just crying before you get home because they're going to beat you, they're going to whip you, so that you don't go back next. So they kill those talents.
Correct.
It's later on that we discover that football is mud.
Correct.
So however, those who are 40 now, you're already in your afternoon.
Correct.
Based on
the analysis you get. Yes.
You're already in your afternoon. And anything can happen in your afternoon. We can decide, if I came here and we just sit down and eat and drink, we'll spend the day. But we have not spent it constructively because eating and drinking is not, we can do that another time.
Yes.
But what we are doing now, we may not realize it, but it's something that is going to go a long way. Because I believe that people who are going to listen to what we are doing now, even us, like wow, there is some sense in that. They will pick one thing, like I said, out of 100 things, I take just 10%.
Yeah.
So now at 40, you need to be thinking. You have a messed up past, like some of us. Yes, your uncle, whoever you expected, they disappointed you. But you are in the afternoon. The good thing is that the light shining. The light is shining in the afternoon.
What can you do?
can see.
Yeah.
You can plan. Yeah. You can walk without fear. But if you wait till when it's getting dark, then the darkness comes in.
Yeah.
You can't do much when it's dark, except you're doing things, fishy things. Only people who do fishy things that love darkness. Do it when it is day. Like the Englishman says, strike the iron when it is hot. This is the daytime. You might have missed the past. I get it.
But do things now.
Do things now.
That can help.
So look at your life. I'm saying to viewers, look at your life now. If you are 30, if you are 40 now, you have 20 years to plan your life.
And to work towards building something.
Yes. Because at 60, you might not have the strength that you have now. You might not have the energy that you have now. Your level of understanding will not be as sharp as you have it now. And do your best now.
That is awesome.
Acquire knowledge now. Ask questions now. Be intentional now. Don't waste your time. Proverbs 31. The mother of a king, King Lemuel, wrote Proverbs 31. And he was cautioning the son. He was a king, but the moon was giving him advice.
Wow.
Don't waste your time on money, things that don't bring value. Women. Activities that don't add
value to your life. That's very powerful.
As a pastor, I get this question all the time. Pastor, is it wrong to drink? I get that you know that.
You just talked about socialization now. But that's important, Pastor, because I think you said something important. And by the way, on the 31st of May, I will be hosting an incredible seminar. This seminar is called From Paycheck to Prosperity. It's for everyday people like you watching me. People, professionals who are working, who are at that point in their life when they are sick and tired of being sick and tired, who are wondering what happened to their paychecks because it's no longer enough anymore. Thank you so very much for tuning in to this episode of the You Are Enough podcast with your host here, Gustav B. Achu. I hope this episode gave you some ideas, enlightened you, gave you some knowledge, and hopefully spurred something in your spirit to teach you and to help you to understand how to invest in yourself for personal growth, to invest for profits, and to build a legacy in that process. Please go ahead and follow us on our different social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and on LinkedIn. And if this episode made sense to you, share this with somebody who might benefit from this. Leave us a like. That way the algorithm is going to dissipate this to other people who would find value in this information. And of course, before I let you go, I pray for you every day that you be well, that you be blessed, and that you never stop being a blessing to somebody. And until the next time, I want to remind you that you are enough. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.